Some people would say it's how you handle the losses that define you as a trader. How would you advise people to handle those losses?
Yeah, it's again, it's a big one, because that's what we're like I said earlier on, we're programmed to not cope with that. It's our fight or flight mechanisms. We're going back to our ancient archetypes, really, of how we protect ourselves. And when we're in the financial markets, how we protect ourselves is to run away when we have those losses, and not to go back there. So we have to be able to deal with them. And one thing I always say to traders is, look, this trade is just one trade in the next 100 trades, in the next 1,000 trades. Don't put all of your emphasis on the outcome of this one trade that's happening right now, because it's just not enough as a sample size. What you want to be looking at is how are your trades over the next 100, how many winners or how profitable are you over 100 trades or over 1,000. But traders are susceptible to getting caught up into the outcome of just one individual trade, and that's one way of saying, do you know what, it's just one loss. It's meaningless in the grand context of the next 1,000 trades.
So you spend 50% of your time potentially losing money, 50% of your time hopefully making the money. But I guess the ratio is making sure that the 50% of the time when you're making money, it's more than what you're losing.
Yeah, it's all about risk to reward. And so if you're risking one to make one, then you would need to have a win rate of greater than 50% in order to be making money. But if you have a win rate of 50%, but you're risking one to make two, then you're making nice profits. So I always look at it, if you use the analogy of Dragon's Den, for example, when those dragons sit there and they're being pitched to by a budding entrepreneur, they know that when they invest £50,000 into these businesses that they're investing into, they know that out of 10 of those businesses, probably a number of them are going to fail because they're brand new businesses and they're not going to work out. But they know that they only need 2 or 3 out of those 10 that are going to really pay off massive dividends. And they'll more than pay for those losing investments that they make and give them a profit overall. It's exactly the same. It's all about risk to reward. And that's where people get it wrong, because they're more focused on being right more of the time rather than focusing on risk to reward. Get the risk to reward right and the profits will take care of themselves.
If you have a good day and a bad day, do you feel the same, or do you get excited on a good day?
Right, I would be a liar if I said that I felt exactly the same, because if you have a losing day, whatever, don't get me wrong, I handle it quite well, but I don't get despondent or anything like that like young traders, newer traders do. But you're not going to feel exactly the same as if you have a winning day. But what you do get good at is just dealing with the emotion and managing to suppress the emotion. It's a bit like Formula One. So Lewis Hamilton won the Grand Prix at the last weekend, and there'll be times when he loses or comes second or whatever, and you can't allow yourself to get down too much like as a professional sportsman, because you've got to pick yourself up, dust yourself off for the next race. And it's exactly the same with trading as well. So if you allow yourself to get down on the back of a losing day, you're going to carry that baggage over to the next day, which then is going to then start messing with your thought processes when you're about to take that first trade on the following day. Is this one going to be a loser as well? Am I going to have another losing day? You start overthinking these things, a bit like the golfing analogy. Then you're already on a trip to losing again. So no, you need to just be able to put it behind yourself. I'm quite lucky because I've got such a bad short-term memory. I've already forgotten what happened to me yesterday, so I don't carry it over into the following day. And it's actually quite good. I've always been quite lucky to be able to decompartmentalize. And so men are quite good at that anyway, generally speaking. So it's one advantage we have. And so if you can decompartmentalize, then you can push something to the side and say, okay, that's happened. Right, okay, I'll move on with this. That's something that's always been a benefit.
If you have a good day, do you ever take that over onto the next day? Can that make you make bad decisions?
That certainly can. And because what happens on the back of a very good day is you can get overconfident. So it's both sides can be dangerous, because sometimes when a trader actually has a good run, being overconfident is more dangerous than if they've just had a few losses. Because if someone's had a few losses, they'll actually usually start to become more cautious. When someone's had a good run, they're more likely to become almost like a gambler. So if someone's had a good day, yeah, you have to remind yourself you're only as good as your last trade, and that the next losing trade could be around the corner. Just remind yourself that, just to temper those emotions. Otherwise, you're likely to then go and risk too much because you think, I've got a load of profits here. I'll take a bigger trade on this one, and then you go and give back your profits that you've just made. And that happens not right from retail traders all the way through to prop firms and at banks. I've dealt with those types of guys, and they said this is what sort of thing that used to happen within prop trading firms and at banks. A prop trader at a bank have a great day, and they give it all back the following day because they just get too emotionally charged on the back of that and think they're invincible.